Angel Reese just sent shockwaves through the entire WNBA by threatening to boycott playing basketball. And if that wasn't wild enough, the Players Association director actually backed her up. In a fiery announcement, Reese claimed she was done being disrespected and wouldn't step on the court again unless major demands were met. She framed it as standing up for her rights. But let's be honest, it looked more like a tantrum after being outshined by Caitlin Clark yet again. What made this even more unbelievable was the PA director stepping in to support Reese's threat, calling it a powerful stance. But behind the scenes, people were stunned. This wasn't just a simple protest. It was a direct attack on the league's stability, and everyone knew it. While Clark stayed focused on the game, ready to keep pushing the WNBA forward, Reese was busy throwing ultimatums and dragging others into her personal mess. This reckless move instantly set off alarm bells across the league and made one thing painfully clear. Angel Reese wasn't interested in building women's basketball. She was ready to tear it down if things didn't go her way. Angel Reese's threat to boycott didn't just stir the pot, it set off total chaos inside the WNBA. The moment her statement went public, tension exploded behind the scenes. Teams were caught off guard, scrambling to figure out what this meant for their rosters and schedules. League officials were blindsided, suddenly forced to deal with a player openly challenging the entire system. Reese's move wasn't just reckless, it was embarrassing for the WNBA, making the league look unstable and disorganized right when it was supposed to be growing stronger. Her supporters tried to spin it as bold and brave, but the reality was clear. Reese's personal drama had turned into a full-blown crisis for everyone else. Meanwhile, other players were left frustrated and annoyed, knowing that Reese's actions were dragging down the league's image just to keep herself in the spotlight. Instead of lifting up women's basketball, Reese's meltdown made it look like a circus, and the damage was already spreading fast. While Angel Reese's boycott drama dominated headlines, Caitlin Clark kept her head down and stayed locked in on the game. No tantrums, no ultimatums, just pure focus and hard work. And it showed. Clark's performances on the court were flawless, proving once again why she's the face of the WNBA's future. Every time she stepped onto the hardwood, she reminded fans and critics alike that this is what real leadership looks like. The more Reese spiraled with threats and demands, the more Clark's quiet strength stood out. Fans flocked to her games, brands boosted her visibility, and her respect across the league kept rising. Clark wasn't just winning matches, she was winning over the entire basketball world, one play at a time. And while Reese raged from the sidelines, Clark's success made it clear who the true star really was. Angel Reese may have been loud, but Caitlin Clark was unstoppable. And nothing Reese did could change that. Unable to handle being outshined yet again, Angel Reese doubled down with a fresh wave of angry social media posts. She ranted about being mistreated and hinted at secret plots against her, trying to stir up sympathy and keep the spotlight on herself. But instead of winning support, her posts just made things worse. Fans and even fellow players were fed up with the non-stop drama, and the comments poured in calling her out for being bitter and childish. Reese's strategy was clear: distract everyone from Caitlin Clark's success by creating chaos. But it completely backfired. Each post just added fuel to the fire, making Reese look even more desperate and unprofessional. While Clark stayed classy and silent, Reese's outbursts painted her as unstable and obsessed with controlling the narrative. What Reese thought would be a power move only exposed her insecurities, and her reputation took another brutal hit. Then came the twist that shattered everything. Leaked documents that exposed Angel Reese's true plan all along. The files revealed emails and private messages, where Reese was caught pushing a strategy to pressure the WNBA into bending to her demands. Even worse, the leaks showed that part of her scheme was to drag Caitlin Clark's name through the mud to shift focus away from her own failures. In one eye-opening message, Reese talked about making it impossible for Clark to keep her image clean, and discussed using media contacts to stir up fake controversy. These weren't just empty words. This was a full-on campaign of manipulation and sabotage. The documents made it crystal clear that Reese's boycott wasn't about fairness or justice. It was a calculated power grab designed to protect her crumbling image. Fans and league officials were stunned by the proof, and any shred of credibility Reese had left instantly vanished. Her entire narrative fell apart, leaving her completely exposed as the mastermind behind a bitter and ugly plot. Caitlin Clark's legal team wasted no time in firing back, and their response was brutal. Armed with airtight evidence, they released an official statement that ripped apart every one of Angel Reese's claims. The legal team presented a full timeline, showing exactly how Reese had tried to manipulate the situation from the start. They included verified emails, screenshots, and official documents that made Reese's plot undeniable. Even witness statements confirmed that Clark had been targeted unfairly, and that Reese's accusations were nothing but a calculated smear job. Legal experts reviewing the case called it a total destruction of Reese's argument, leaving her with zero ground to stand on. While Reese stayed silent, clearly rattled by the ironclad proof, Clark continued to rise, untouched by the lies and stronger than ever. This wasn't just a legal win for Clark. It was a public demolition of Reese's entire strategy, showing once and for all who was telling the truth. After the legal smackdown, the fallout for Angel Reese was swift and devastating. Behind the scenes, WNBA brands and insiders moved fast to distance themselves from her. Sponsorships that had once seemed locked in were quietly canceled or postponed indefinitely. Marketing campaigns that featured Reese's face suddenly disappeared, replaced by rising stars like Caitlin Clark. Even within the league, key figures started cutting ties. Coaches, teammates, and officials who once hyped Reese up went silent, making it clear she was no longer welcome in their inner circle. It was obvious that no one wanted to be associated with the mess Reese had created. While Clark's influence kept growing, Reese found herself completely frozen out, left standing alone as her support crumbled. The message couldn't have been clearer. Angel Reese had burned too many bridges, and now she was paying the full price. The WNBA was moving forward without her. As Angel Reese's world came crashing down, Caitlin Clark's rise became unstoppable. Every game she played added to her legend. Packed arenas, record-breaking viewership, and highlight reels that dominated sports media. Brands rushed to sign her, eager to be linked to someone who represented everything positive about the sport: skill, discipline, and integrity. Clark's name became synonymous with greatness, and her influence spread far beyond basketball, inspiring a whole new generation of fans. Meanwhile, Reese's brand collapsed under the weight of her own actions, fading into the background as her relevance evaporated. The contrast couldn't have been more obvious. While Reese's empire of drama crumbled, Clark built a legacy rooted in hard work and undeniable talent. In every way that mattered, Clark was winning, and Reese was left with nothing but regret and the wreckage of a career she'd thrown away. Now, with everything exposed and the dust settling, there's no escaping the truth. Angel Reese's career is in free fall, and there's no saving it. Her boycott threat, once meant to shake the league, ended up backfiring so badly that it erased any goodwill she had left. The WNBA has moved on, fans have moved on, and even her former allies have turned their backs. Reese is left watching from the sidelines, powerless as Caitlin Clark's star keeps rising. Clark, through it all, never stooped to Reese's level. She stayed focused, let her skills speak, and proved herself as the true leader the league needs. The message is clear. No matter how loud the drama gets, real greatness wins in the end. Angel Reese thought she could break Caitlin Clark, but all she did was destroy her own future. And now, as Clark shines brighter than ever, Reese is left with nothing but the bitter reality of her own failure.